Sri Ganesha was standing guard outside, and Mata Parvati was having her bath inside, and she gives instructions to Ganesh, don't let anyone in. In comes Lord Shiva and he wants to get in, and Ganesha says no, because he's he's following his mother's instructions. So he says, no, you can't get in, sir, sorry. Now Shiva is amused in the beginning that a small child is stopping him from getting into his own house, so he's amused. But very soon the amusement turns into agitation turns into frustration, and it's a potentially emotionally explosive situation. We all know what happened after that. Okay, let me pause on that story and go to the next one. About 10,000 years ago, Ram, Laxman and Sita are in Vanvas. You all heard of this story, right? In comes Shurpankhana. How many of you have heard of Shurpankhana? Yes, no, please type. Let me understand. How many of you have heard of Shurpankhana? Yes or no? You know who she is? Okay. Okay. All right. So good number. No? What is this? There are some no's. All right. How many of you have heard of Shakespeare? Yes or no? Shakespeare. How many of you? Now I am getting a lot of responses. Everyone has heard of Shakespeare. What is this? See, this is one of the problems. Okay, we don't know our own history, but we know somebody else's history. We know Shakespeare, we don't know Shurpankhana. What is this going on? Not your fault. It's the political situation right now. Nevertheless, let's come back to the story. So there was an important character by the name Shurpankhana who sees Laxman and falls in love with Laxman. Okay. So she goes and she proposes to Laxman. Laxman says no, he's already married. So she's taken aback. How can somebody say no to me? Then she sees Ram. She goes and proposes to Ram. Obviously Ram says no. Now she cannot take no for an answer, right? Because she is a Rakshas after all. Her ego flares up. Emotionally explosive situation again. She decides to kill Sita. And as she is moving forward, Laxman chops her nose off, and that's the beginning of the Ramayana, so to say. The war. Emotionally, potentially explosive situation created because of some ego coming in the way. Let me pause on that story and come to a little bit closer to our times. About 5,000-6,000 years ago, Arjuna is on the battlefield, Mahabharat battlefield, and this time there's an emotionally explosive situation, but he's having an argument or a turmoil with whom? Not with some other party. He's having an internal turmoil. On one hand, there is a duty that he's supposed to do, his work that he's supposed to do. And on the other hand, there is his family. I know that doesn't sound like a 5,000-year-old story. It sounds like today's story, because we also face this dilemma, right, from time to time. Should we do our work first or should we take care of the family first? But Arjuna faced a similar, and it was explosive. And that's why the whole Bhagavad Gita came into place, because of that explosive situation where it could have gone anywhere. But let's come to today. Today also we are seeing the same things. You open any news channel and you will see political parties at war with each other. So why am I sharing these stories with you is because the point which I'm trying to make is emotionally explosive situations, turmoils, conflicts, arguments, disappointments, frustration, anger, all this existed 10,000 years ago. It exists today, and it will continue to exist in the future. Okay, so please do not expect that just because we are attending this one workshop, we can resolve all emotional issues. No, we are all victims sometimes to the circumstances, and there is a reason for it. So I will share the reason why I am saying it will exist in future. It will exist as long as there are humans. Emotional mistakes will happen. Emotional disruptions will happen, explosive situations will happen, arguments will happen. This will continue to happen. We don't have a choice because that's how our brain has evolved.